right now. Same height. Slight weight advantage for Guinn is going to be meaningless. Slight reach advantage for Hatcher. I don't think it's going to matter much. I think Hatcher being older won't even matter. And forget about the records. I think it's all going to come down to the rust level here. And that's where we're talking about tonight. That big layoff for Buddy Hatcher and a big step up to 10 rounds tonight for Dominick Guinn. Now we're going to get the official introductions from our ring announcer, the magnificent Mark Biro.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the glorious Circus Maximus showroom at Caesars Tahoe, Cedric Kushner Promotions presents the Everlast Heavyweight Explosion main event of the evening, scheduled for 10 rounds. Your referee for this event is Vic Draculich. Introducing in the red corner to my left, wearing red trunks, white trim, weighing 217 pounds, professional record, 14 victories, 3 defeats. He has 10 wins coming by way of knockout. He hails from Columbus, Ohio. Here is Charles Buddy Hatcher. His opponent in the blue corner, wearing the silver trunks, weighing 219 pounds. He is undefeated in 20 professional bouts. He has 15 wins coming by way of knockout. He hails from Hot Springs, Arkansas. Here is Dominick Guinn. 10 rounds, heavyweights.
We have to point out the stellar corners of both fighters. We got John Johnson of Buster Douglas fame in with Buddy Hatcher. Dominick Guinn's got Ronnie Shields, 2-time world champion Mark Breland, and perhaps the best cut man in the business, Joe Souza.
It's an ace corner for Guinn.
And again, scheduled for 10. Neither fighter been even close to that distance. Guinn 8 rounds twice. Hatcher never passed 6, but as Smitty pointed out, Hatcher hasn't been there because of his 10 knockouts in 14 wins. Look for the rust to be dropping off Hatcher as the bout goes on.
Nice right hand by Hatcher. Got the early attention of Guinn. Remember, a lot of early power has been demonstrated by Hatcher in his career. And he's really loading up on the right hand, and actually Guinn's right there to be hit.
Certainly a step up in competition. Guinn had some problems with veteran Gehring Lane back last October, just managing to eke out a split decision against Lane. Came back with a good, strong 8-round decision win over Otis Tisdale. Hatcher's biggest win to date would have to be his win over Roman Bugai. Angelo Dundee trained heavyweight, beat him back in July of 2001. Nice right over the top by Buddy Hatcher.
Guinn better find a way to get out of the way of that right hand. He's really getting hit by it.
Or if nothing else, keep that left up.
Good body shot, too, left by Hatcher.
We spoke with both of these fighters yesterday at the weigh-in, and both told us they've been here for a while, so altitude should not be a factor. Again, we're coming to you today from Caesars Tahoe. Oh, and a nice body shot followed by a right, and Buddy Hatcher finds himself on the floor here in the first round. Doesn't look overly hurt. John Johnson trying to say it was a push. Takes the mandatory 8 count. And Dominick Guinn coming out fast to try to finish him.
There were punches there, though, Arnie. I know he was off balance, but there was a shot to the head and the body.
The body shot really looked good to me. Nevertheless, put a knockdown in the bank right now for Dominick Guinn, and he's coming back with good combinations. Hatcher trying to fight back, though, with that big right hand of his, and he backs Guinn up a little bit.
Talk about an extensive amateur career. Guinn, 290 and 26 as an amateur, and against world-class competition.
Just can't imagine having that many fights, over 300 amateur fights.
It's a lot.
Staying constantly busy. Guinn showing respect here for Hatcher's punching power, not jumping all over him after the knockdown. So we're coming near the end of the round. Certainly has to be viewed as a good one for Dominick Guinn. Not much of a finish.
You understand? Give me a deep breath, let it out slow. Come on, give me that one. That's the way.
Ronnie Shields giving the instruction to Guinn. There in the other corner, Hatcher. Take a look at the knockdown. Pretty even round until this right hand. He gets off balance. Beautiful left hook to the body. You have to call that a knockdown, in my opinion.
Well, Smitty, I see the body shot here, and then he kind of cuffed him around the head. But the body shot was a great left hand.
Really was. You see it right there. And then he kind of, as you mentioned, cuffed him around the head. Down he goes. Even round up till that point. 10-8 round at the end for Guinn.
Round number 2 of a scheduled heavyweight matchup, and Buddy Hatcher in red and white found himself on the floor in the first round thanks to the silver and black Dominick Guinn. You scored a 10-8, Smitty?
Yeah, I did. You don't have to. I mean, you may have disagreed with that because it was very even going into that with that punch.
I gave it to him because I thought it was a real good body shot, but it's always important to point out that that 10-8 is not mandatory.
Right.
And you can ask Evander Holyfield about that because that's how he lost his world title to Michael Moorer. That 1 point would have made a difference, and he wasn't given a 10-8 round for the drop of Jamora. By one judge, anyway.
Guinn warming up now, and nice stiff jab, and he's trying to turn over that short left hook.
Guinn showing a lot of respect. Ronnie Shields jumped on him a little bit between rounds, I think, for not going after Hatcher a little more after the knockdown.
I like that snappy left hand by Guinn. He can set up a lot of things. A lot on the line for Guinn, as we mentioned, a possible fight with Grant. And again, the heavyweight division so wide open. Nice right hand by Hatcher.
And he hurt Guinn with that. Definitely got Gwynn's attention with that. Hatcher not following it up and doing the typical take a step back and admire your work situation. Neither fighter really dominating with the jab here.
Guinn with his kind of his stance, he almost leans into that right hand. He's walking right into it. I think he needs to use a little bit more side-to-side movement.
But I find right now both fighters, because of their punching power, showing a little bit too much respect.
Guinn 15 KOs in his 20 victories, and we already alluded several times to the power of Hatcher. 10 KOs in his 14 fights, including all those early stoppages.
And Hatcher's got a good little jab going now. Picking up, fouls it with the right hand and setting it up with the jab. And Greg draws applause from his corner. Round certainly up for grabs with less than a minute to go here.
Certainly the cleanest and hardest punches have been those right hands by Hatcher.
Hatcher really starting to use the jab, a little body attack of his own right now. A little payback for that first round body attack from Guinn. Another good combination on the inside. Buddy Hatcher showing some very fast hand speed here in the second round.
And thus far, not really showing us much ring rust, I don't think, despite the inactivity.
Well, we said we start to see it fall off him, and a lot of it's fallen off already here in the second. Very good round for Buddy Hatcher.
Over to the Hatcher corner, and Guinn's corner, you heard Ronnie Shields being honest, saying you lost that round, and he did. That man, Buddy Hatcher, definitely got the best of it in round number 2.
And they felt he was waiting, and he certainly allowed Hatcher to establish that jab and take over control and change the momentum of this fight. Well, as we start round number 3, the corner of Guinn not happy at all. Really feel that he's waiting and letting Buddy Hatcher, who was down in the first round and took over the second round. And as you mentioned, Smitty, between rounds, they were honest. They told him, you lost the second round, and that's not just something they were saying to their fighter to motivate him. I think he lost on my card anyway, and I think the same with yours.
Nice jab, snapping the head back of Hatcher by Guinn.
Hatcher thus far not able to pick up where he left off in the second round. Guinn starting to cut the distance and use a little bit of a jab himself, Smitty, but not as much as I'd like to see him. He's not busy enough with it.
Nice left hook by Guinn, and not enough body work by either fighter. Remember, it was the body punch by Guinn that really produced the first knockdown, and only knockdown in round number 1.
One thing, though, is when he goes to the body of Hatcher with his left, that means he's open for that right hand. And he's tasted that a couple of times. Didn't like the way it tasted.
One thing I think helping Hatcher is he's so relaxed in there. Pointed that out in some other fights. When you're relaxed in there, that'll certainly help you, especially this one scheduled for 10 rounds, and Hatcher hasn't been that distance.
But for that matter, either has Guinn, and how much you think that weighing on him?
Right.
I mean, his fight with Otis Tisdale, a fighter that you would have thought he would take out, he went the full 8 with him. And perhaps there's some concern in going the distance.
Although Tisdale just went the distance with Michael Moore. But this is I think a very good opponent for Guinn at this stage in his career, and obviously a good fight for Hatcher should he be able to pull off the upset in a heavyweight division that, again, is just so wide open right now.
This is Hatcher's first fight with John Johnson. Used to be trained by Pepe Carrera. For whatever reason, that didn't work out. He's had the layoff. He's back here tonight. And as you mentioned, not looking quite as rusty as we might have expected. Nice right hand lead by Buddy Hatcher.
Not enough combination punching, though, by either fighter. It's like a chess match right now.
And Vic Draculich starting to earn his pay here tonight as they're starting to hold on a little bit more when they get on the inside.
Hatcher needs to let that right hand go. That was so effective earlier.
Crowd starting to get a little bit edgy here as the pace in the third round, nothing like it was in the first and second. Guinn a little bit on his bicycle even. Rather lethargic and lower pace third round here for both combatants.
A lot of urgency in there by Ronnie Shields, imploring his fighter to step in and back him up, and he says you'll get the knockout if you do.
Come on, I want you working hard in here. Come on, now, let's go.
Well, as we start the fourth, Ronnie Shields taken right up to the last second to be in the face of Dominick Guinn. Not happy with Guinn's performance, although I did have him win the third round, but not by a big margin. It was a very slow, lethargic round for both fighters, Smitty.
I don't like having even rounds, Arnie, but nobody did enough to deserve to win that third round.
I was close to going 10-10, but I threw it to Guinn. Hate to score even rounds.
And when you score fights, again, you're looking for clean punching, effective aggressiveness, ring generalship, and defense.
We have to also bring up the fact, how much is Guinn looking past Buddy Hatcher tonight because he's got Michael Grant already scheduled? That's such a wrong thing to do sometimes. It's like setting yourself up for the jinx.
It is, especially in this division where one punch can turn it all around.
Oh, down goes, talk about one punch. Down goes Buddy Hatcher for the second time in the fight. Again, he appears to have his legs underneath him. Draculich gives the mandatory 8 count. But let's see if Guinn's more aggressive this time, and Guinn walks into a shot of his own, and he gets rocked. Guinn walked in wide open there, Smitty, and he's got rocked a little bit. And as quiet as things were in the third, really picking up right now in the fourth. But Buddy Hatcher getting rocked again by a combination, but he's going to just let it all hang out right now.
He's still dangerous, though, even though he's hurt.
A lot of time left, more than a minute to go here in the fourth. Good left by Buddy Hatcher, catches Guinn walking in, and now they finally hold.
Now, Hatcher definitely in trouble, but definitely still dangerous.
Come on, break time, guys, break time.
Hatcher showing good resilience here right now. Nice body shot by Hatcher.
Snuck in that left hook to the body of Guinn. Guinn now a little spent, I think.
Guinn's corner going crazy. They're not happy with what they're seeing.
I think he's a little tired from trying to take his man out.
It's only the fourth round, though, Smitty.
Oh, you mentioned the altitude, too. See whether that's has any effect on Guinn.
Well, they were up here, both fighters up here a week ahead of time. And at least yesterday felt confident that they were adjusted.
Now Hatcher coming on a little bit.
Oh, nice left uppercut. Guinn really finishing strong here again in the fourth, catching a second win. Hatcher looking to survive, holding on here at the end of the fourth.
You train hard, okay? Start. Get your legs fresh. Get your legs fresh. Get your faculty. The boy is tired.
Take a look at the knockdown. Left hook, jab. Wasn't much of a punch, though.
Not really.
There's the jab. It's a hook.
It's almost
and
like
down
the
he went.
jab. Smitty did more damage than
Seems
anything
that
else.
way. The left hook was a glancing blow, and Hatcher was already falling. Right eye underneath, a little swollen. Another look.
Oh, there's
Left.
it was that left
Hook earlier
Yep.
that caused all the problems.
And looking back at the replay of the knockdown, it appears that it was a short left hook followed by a left jab that really did the damage. A little bit of a delayed reaction as Buddy Hatcher goes down for the second time in the fight in the fourth. He's in the red and white, silver and black, Dominick Guinn. Arnie Rosenthal along with Smitty coming to you tonight from Caesars Tahoe. It's, of course, a Cedric Kushner promotion here on The Explosion.
A combination by Hatcher, three-punch combination. He's trying to back Guinn up here. Lands a right.
Hand by Hatcher.
I think that hurt Guinn.
Oh, I think it did more than hurt him. Guinn backing up, and what a seesaw battle. Biggest problem that Hatcher has is the rounds that he's lost. Smitty, he's lost 10-8.
And Hatcher sensing he's hurt. He needs to come underneath. I think Guinn's in a lot of trouble here, holding on. Needs to come underneath when Guinn is holding on. The leg's still unsteady, I think.
And the question after this big layoff, does Hatcher have what it takes right now to put Guinn down or even finish him?
Well, he can't wait. He's got an opportunity here. Needs to do what he's doing right there.
We already had one upset here tonight. TJ Wilson getting knocked out by Willie Chapman, and this is a lot more even up battle. We mentioned coming into this fight, Buddy Hatcher, a big step up for Dominick Guinn. A lot of swelling under the right eye of Hatcher. Doesn't look like it's dangerous, but right now, teeing off on Dominick Guinn here.
And Guinn doing nothing, really, other than moving back and forth and holding on. No offense, no arsenal from Dominick Guinn. Hatcher needs to go right in there and go to work.
Hatcher, though, still respecting the punching power, though, Smitty, to put him down twice in this fight.
Well, he's going to let him get back that power if he doesn't do something right now, because we don't see many punches from Guinn, who's just trying to clear his head and get back the legs, I think.
Under a minute to go here in the 5th. And Dominick Guinn continues to be on his bicycle. Big left hook shakes him again. What a round for Buddy Hatcher, but has not been able to put Guinn on the floor. Guinn, of course, coming in tonight undefeated, 20-0.
Watch that head, watch that head.
15 wins by way of knockout. Hatcher, big punching power, 10 knockouts in his 14 wins. But again, as we've been telling you throughout the evening, coming off a major 20-month layoff. In spite of it looking pretty good, and in spite of being on the floor twice, looking pretty good.
Guinn starting to now, I think, get his legs back a little bit. A lot of swelling under the right eye of Hatcher.
Tremendous round for Buddy Hatcher, coming back after being on the floor in the 4th. Can he keep it up? Big shift in momentum here.
You want me to stop the fight? If you don't want to fucking fight, I'll stop the motherfucker now. You understand? You want me to stop the fight? Huh? When you gonna get out there and throw punches at this man? You gave a fucking round away. For what? The hell you giving away rounds for? This is your step-up fight. Knock this fucking guy out. You understand?
Now, that's one way of getting the attention. I think Ronnie's a little overly zealous right there as a young fighter in a little bit of trouble, and there are other ways to get his attention. Sometimes that works. Other times it wears the guy out even more.
Well, we're going to find out if it worked or not by what Dominick Guinn we see in the 6th round.
Get this guy out of here. You understand?
Very animated right now, Ronnie Shields, and aggravated as well.
Side, buddy, working. Stay to the body, buddy.
Second half of a scheduled 10-rounder. Big round 5 for Buddy Hatcher. He's in the red and white, silver and black. Dominick Guinn, Hatcher on the floor twice in this fight. Once in the 1st round and the other time in the 4th. And I tell you, Smitty, he dominated the 5th round more than the rounds were dominated by Guinn when Hatcher was on the floor. You could almost build a case for the 5th round being 10-8 for Hatcher.
Yeah, he's very dominant. Hurt Guinn, who had no answers, and Hatcher very aggressive. At right eye, a lot of swelling underneath it, and Guinn needs to get busy with his jab. He's in some trouble here, tired. The one thing that can be an equalizer is that left jab. Needs to get busy with it, and now there it is.
Hatcher, of course, giving away those extra points in the 10-8 rounds. I've got the fight 48-46 right now after 5 for Guinn.
Same here. I think it's going to be a real war of attrition here going into the second half of this fight.
Excuse me, make that 48-45. Nice body attack, comes back upstairs for Buddy Hatcher. And you talked about not being enough combination, Smitty, earlier in the fight. That was a nice clean 4-punch.
It was a nice combination on the inside, and not much back from Guinn, who's really learning a little bit. Even though he has 20 victories, this certainly toughest fight for him thus far.
Guinn turned pro back in June of 2000. Shortly after not making the Olympic team. The 1st round knockout of Leroy Hollis. Buddy Hatcher turned pro in 1998.
This right hand by Guinn.
Triple jab by Guinn, something we hadn't seen.
And he has a nice jab when he uses it, and it'll set up the right hand and everything else. A lot of holding on the inside. Referee doing a good job, though, of letting them fight themselves free.
Another classic case of round up for grabs here with about 30 seconds to go. Buddy Hatcher controlling the first minute, second minute perhaps Guinn. Now it's even money. Nice left hook again, catches Guinn walking in. He's dropping that right hand. Bad, Smitty.
Traded left hooks there.
Hatcher really letting his hands go now, really sensing the upset. Another good round for Buddy Hatcher. Looks like he might have pulled it out.
You're winning.
Get your legs out, buddy. Stretch your legs out. Stretch your legs out.
You're winning. You got to keep winning. You got to keep putting your combinations together. All right? Offense, defense. Get a deep breath.
Stretch your legs out. You're an excellent shake, buddy.
Okay? Deep breath. Deep
Stretch your legs out, buddy. Stretch your legs. Buddy, move
You can just see the adrenaline flowing into Buddy Hatcher right now. He seems like the fresher of the two.
the boy,
Likes what's going on. He sees success from what he's doing out there, Smitty. Dominick Guinn, what's wrong?
Well, we'll see. We'll kind of see what's wrong here and see that Hatcher on the inside with a little quick four-punch combination. Gets the best of that. And this may have been enough to win the round for Hatcher. I gave it to him.
So did I. Well, as we start round number 7, Buddy Hatcher starting to pick away at that early lead of Dominick Guinn, caused by the 2 knockdowns, both in the first and the 4th round. Punch volume much higher for Buddy Hatcher.
And on the inside, it is really Guinn that is the one that's engaging on the holding. Hatcher's trying to fight on the inside.
And Guinn trying to make it work with one punch. Buddy Hatcher right now in uncharted territory. He's never been past 6 rounds before. So welcome to round number 7, Buddy Hatcher.
And maybe Guinn, even though he's been 8 rounds a couple of times in his career, he might be in uncharted territory, just being in the trouble that he was in earlier in this fight.
Never been in with the likes of Buddy Hatcher this late in a fight, that's for sure. Be interesting to see if Buddy Hatcher has knockout punching power this late into a fight, because we've never seen that before.
It's a good point. A lot of guys don't carry their power into the later rounds. Even Mike Tyson never had great late punching power.
Latest knockout that Buddy Hatcher had was the 5th round against Roman Bugai. That was back in July of 2001. The question is right now, with the 20-month layoff, will he have it tonight against Guinn? But Dominick Guinn seems to be losing more each round, Smitty. They can't seem to get him rolling again.
He's just not letting his hands go. He's a lot of defense. And on the inside, you see him tying up. This is a young man, only 27 years of age. There's a combination, nice one by Guinn.
And before he threw that combination, which now rocked, Buddy Hatcher's in trouble. Hatcher's rocked a little bit here. I was going to say maybe his hands hurt because he wasn't letting his punches go. But just as I was thinking it, he rocked Buddy Hatcher in a big comeback round here with under a minute to go for Dominick Guinn.
And Guinn's a very accurate puncher. There you see just needs to let the hands go, and catching a second win here now, and Hatcher in some difficulty.
Hatcher, though, continues to stand in front of him. Needs to reestablish that jab. The jab is what really turned this fight around for Buddy Hatcher. If you want to call it a turnaround, still going into this round on our cards unofficially down 57-55. You take away the knockdowns, and you have an even fight.
It's a very good heavyweight fight. Great matchmaking here for both of these guys.
And we got to applaud Eric Botcher for doing it. It's our matchmaker here on the Explosion. Much better round for Dominick Guinn. But Buddy Hatcher a little stronger at the end.
Deep breath. Got 3 rounds to go, buddy. 3-round fight, okay?
the tougher round to score, Smitty. Perhaps the toughest round to score of the fight. How'd you have it?
I thought the accurate, clean punching of Guinn and the fact that he staggered Hatcher a little bit was enough to win that round. And I have him 67-65 leading Hatcher going into this round. Good accurate punching by Guinn. You see him with his back to his right hand, left hook. Back on the attack, left hook. Hatcher wobbling just a little bit.
Get closer and make him work. He wants to rest. He wants to try to steal the fight.
Come on, baby. Let's go. Come on now. Down. Suck it up, baby. Suck it up right here. Right now, you're a fighter. Right now.
Dominick Guinn in silver and black, hurting Buddy Hatcher in red and white with about a minute to go in the last round. Well, we both gave the round to Guinn, but I will tell you this. Buddy Hatcher threw a nice combination at the end of that round to at least let Guinn know that he was back in.
Hatcher's corner is saying that Guinn's trying to hold on and rest and steal the rounds. And meanwhile, in the Guinn corner, you can just feel for Ronnie Shields and Mark Breland just trying to get their guy to be more energetic and throw more punches, because when he does, he has success.
Dominick Guinn building himself an early lead with the knockdown in the first and the fourth of Buddy Hatcher. Smitty's got it 67-65. I've got it 67-64, both in favor of Guinn. So at least where we're sitting, Buddy Hatcher has to make up a 3-point gap. Had tremendous rounds back in the 5th and 6th, but could not put Guinn on the floor.
Very good jabs by Guinn. When he doubles and triples with that jab, Hatcher doesn't have the answers.
Hasn't been able to be consistent with it, though.
No,
battle of the jab, so to speak, being won by Buddy Hatcher tonight.
Right. Still swelling underneath the right eye, but they've done a good job in the Hatcher corner on that eye. There he jabbed to the body, then up to the head. All that was missing from that combination was the right hand by Hatcher.
Straight up questions, Smitty, at this point in the fight. If you're Guinn's people, based on tonight, do you reconsider putting him in with Michael Grant?
Well, let's see how he, finishes here, perhaps. I mean, Grant's a little, big puncher, big guy, and he may not be ready, but see how he finishes this fight.
And we're coming on the 1-minute mark here in round 8. This, of course, is scheduled for 10. We're on the Explosion. Smitty along with Arnie Rosenthal. Caesars Tahoe, and that means we're in altitude. Both fighters said it wasn't going to be a factor that they were in here early.
The other side to that, Arnie, is the fact that Guinn had, almost over 300 amateur fights and 20 professional fights. So you have to make the step up at some point. Talking about perhaps facing Michael Grant after this fight. Should he be successful here? And this one's not in the bank yet.
And they're only talking about that fight being about 60 days from today, though.
Right.
Now, do you want to put somebody after, no matter how this fight goes, win, lose, or draw, do you want to put Dominick Guinn in a fight of that magnitude 60 days from today?
It's going to be pretty rough. There's a beautiful fight.
Oh, down goes Hatcher for the 3rd time in a fight. Not a lot of time left in this round.
I want you to walk to me.
Big Dracula's checking out the feet and buying some extra time here. Buddy Hatcher just beating this and being saved by the bell.
In a world of trouble, too. Right eye really busted up.
I swear my father's grave. If you don't knock this ground right now, you're not going out there. You gotta get out there and jump out of the
Well, you see Buddy Hatcher, but you hear Ronnie Shields in the other corner.
See, there's the right hand, and you notice what set it up. That quick double jab. Another shot of the knockdown of Hatcher by Guinn. Jab, jab, boom, right hand. And down goes Hatcher.
And when they watch this tape back, Smitty, they're going to know that if he had done this jab all night, could have been a lot easier evening for him.
It's a nice combination, or the way he went to the body and set it up.
Well, we start round number 9, and Ronnie Shields yelling for the knockout. He wants nothing less from Dominick Guinn, who put Buddy Hatcher down for the 3rd time in the fight in the 8th. And you got to feel for Buddy Hatcher coming off a 20-month layoff, fighting a real gallant fight, giving Dominick Guinn all he can handle, and that's it. Vic Dracula's just seen enough, and a good stoppage on his part as he takes the mouthpiece out of Buddy Hatcher. And Dominick Guinn stopping Buddy Hatcher here in the 9th round.
Very good finish by Guinn. Ronnie Shields imploring his fighter throughout the fight in between rounds, even threatening that he would stop the fight if he didn't finish this guy off.
Don't make no sense, man.
A nice
Every
finish
time you hit this
Guinn.
guy, you hurt him, man. Come on now.
And Ronnie still
You the puncher in this fight. You understand?
talking. But a good way to finish for Dominick Guinn. It's his 21st victory and 16th KO.
Okay. Want to get the gloves off?
Hatcher appears to be okay, and that's good. Get a chance to see the end of this fight. Hatcher, when he let his hands go, there's a nice right lead, right hand right on the chin there. And the referee didn't waste any time. Another look. Bam, right on actually the nose. Lead right hand, and Hatcher was already ready to go going into that round. So Guinn shows us some late punching power. First time he had been that distance.
Every single time.
Against a pretty tough opponent in Charles Hatcher.
Just trying to get too close to throw the right
They're
hand.
still coaching Dominick Guinn. We'll see now if he goes on and fights Michael Grant. Good to see that Hatcher's all right. And the salute by Dominick Guinn, who certainly was in some trouble during this fight.
Dom, we're going to go right to an interview with you.
Yes, sir.
And I think Mark Biro is standing by and ready to make it official. So let's throw it up to Mark Biro.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time, 21 seconds of the 9th round. The winner by technical knockout and still undefeated, Dominick Guinn. Guinn.
So Dominick, it's his 21st victory and 16th KO of his boxing career. Good way to finish things. And he's standing by with, let's take it away with Arnie and the victor.
All right, back now with Dominick Guinn, a spectacular knockout win. Dominick, a lot tougher night, though, than you expected.
No, I expected a tough fight. Like I said, I wasn't following the instructions in my corner like I was supposed to. I wasn't throwing my jab enough. I was kind of sitting back waiting. The first maybe 5-6 rounds, we knew if I came out and pushed myself the first 2 or 3 rounds, I was going to get my second win right fast. But I didn't get my second win until like the 7th round, and I think that's what kind of halted my, being able to step it up, because I didn't push myself the first couple of rounds like I was supposed to.
We're up in Lake Tahoe over 6,000 feet. The altitude affect you?
The altitude affected me a little bit, but like I said, we trained hard for it. I ran sprints and stuff. I was used to the altitude. I boxed in Colorado Springs several times, so I knew, coming out that I was going to have to, push myself the first several rounds just to get my second win, and I didn't do it like I was supposed to.
All right, we're going to take a look at some of the knockdowns right now. And take a look right there.
That was the last one. Yeah, that was the last knockdown. My coach, after the 8th round, he in between rounds, he got myself and told me that if I didn't knock this guy out the 9th round, he wasn't going to let me come back out the 10th round. So
well,
I had to.
Ronnie's certainly a lot more animated than you were used to. Real quickly, Grant coming up, still in the horizon for you 2 months from now?
Yes, sir. June 7th on the undercard of Arturo Gotti and Mickey Ward.
All right, good gutsy performance tonight and great win.
Thank you.
Good to see you again, Dominick. All right, let me bring Smitty and Ron back in here. Great night of boxing. Smitty, your last thought on what you saw tonight with Dominick Guinn?
Well, what you really liked was the way he finished. He finished strong, got the late stoppage, and hopefully a Michael Grant in the future for him. But he's still unbeaten. I like the way he finished.
All right, Ron, Anthony Thompson, somebody you got to spend some time with. What'd you think of his performance?
He just keeps rolling. Size, strength, speed. He's the real deal. It was a great job tonight. Blast working with you guys. We look forward to the next one.
Likewise. And for everybody here, been a great night of boxing. Hope to see you next time. Good night, Kerry. I'm coming home.